In this Teesom video, we're going to cover the new features that have launched in January of 2022. We're going to discuss the updated packing list, we'll discuss the updated work order layout sheet, and then we'll talk about the new traveler sheet, and then we'll also show you about the new names and numbers feature. Okay, let's start with the pack slip. I'm going to click on the action button of the Acer America job, and I'm going to scroll down to packing slip. And just so you know, by default, it does come up with the new layout, but at any time you can click back on the classic version and actually print that pack slip out if you're more comfortable with that. If not, and you want to play with the new print layout, go ahead and click back on the Go to New Print Layout, and then we'll start showing you some of the options that you can turn off and on. So click on the Show Custom Print Options. And then here are the different options. So I'm going to talk about each option and then show you on the pack slip where that's going to appear. So the print job on new page. Turn this option on if you want every new job to start in a new page. So I do have this turned on, and I do have two jobs in this order. So the very first job is the dress shirts with the Acer logo on it. And the second job is some hats with the Acer logo on it. So just like what it's saying, it's going to print a separate sheet for each job. That way, if you need to, you can hand one pack slip off to one box to say this is what's inside of this box, and another pack slip off to another box so you can say this is what's inside this box. So that's pretty handy if you need to ship two different boxes to the customer. If not, then have everything print together. All right, the show goods summary. I'm going to go ahead and show you this on the sheet. It is at the very top, and it's just going to give a summary of the goods, again, inside the box, or in the case of the work order, it's just going to summarize the goods that are on the order. Okay, the show imprints. Turn this option on if you want to print the imprint section for each job. Okay, right now we have the imprint being shown. Here's the imprint, and here's the imprint. If we now come back over here and turn off show imprints, hit apply, and then scroll, we no longer see those images with the imprint on it. So that's what it's referring to when it says show imprint. Let's go back to the custom print options. We'll go ahead and turn that back on, hit apply, and now the imprint images are back. The next option is show additional charges. Now, you're not going to see this one till the very last sheet of the order. So I did put an additional charge in this order just so we can see where it appears. So again, this packing slip has two jobs printing on two separate sheets, and at the very end on the last job is where the additional charges are going to come in. So I'm going to keep scrolling until the last sheet, and there we go. There's the additional charge that were added to this list. Show art measurements is the next option. Turn this option on if you want to print the art measurements for each imprint. This one's pretty important. I don't think I would ever turn this one off. So where you're going to see that is right here on the measurements. Let's go ahead and scroll up. Show art approval comment. This is, again, if I had typed anything in during this setup of the art, this verbiage would then print out on the sheet. And here we go. Art approval on the second job says design looks like a patch, but it is not a patch. So again, turn that comment on if you've got the art approval comment. There you go. Okay, let's go back to the top. And the next option is show which items get a particular imprint. Now this is a really great feature if you have some shirts that are getting 3 locations and some shirts that are only getting 2 locations, and so on and so forth. So this is a really great feature to help production say, look, these shirts are not getting this particular embellishment, but they are going on these shirts. So let's go ahead and show you where that is going to appear. So do you see in the top order here where it says 1 medium, 5 large, 5 extra large, 3 2XL, but then I scroll down here and it says, look, the logo is only going on the 5 large, the 5 extra large, the 3 2X. They are not going on the 1 medium. So just wanted to point that out to you. All right, the next option is show other charges. And we already saw that with the additional charges, but we'll scroll back down. Again, this one will always appear on the last page. So I'm just gonna really zoom to the last page here. And there you go, there's the other charges. Let's scroll back up. All right, show names and numbers. I did specifically add some names and numbers to this job. In this case, it's not really names and numbers. I kind of tweaked it a little bit and added names and titles. And so those were going to go on the dress shirts. And so here you can see Bob is the regional manager, Jim is the sales rep, and then it does break down the size of the shirt, the color of the shirt, and then how many quantity that they're getting. And of course, you'll see the style number there. So again, a really nice feature if you have names and numbers in an order. If you don't, it's a good idea to turn that one off. All right, show names and numbers comment. I'm going to show you real quick where you can make a comment on the names and numbers. And then if you do type in that comment, it will appear on the pack slip. It's your choice whether or not you want that. A lot of times that comment is more of an internal comment. So my guess is you're not going to probably have that feature turned on. And I don't think I put a comment in any of these. So I don't think it's printing anywhere. So sorry that I couldn't show you that one. The show job quantities, show job total quantities, turn this option on if you want to print the job quantity totals to print for every job. So let's scroll down a little bit and I'll show you the job total quantities. So here are the job totals and here are the quantities. Now, show order total quantities means because there's 2 jobs in here, we have a number that tallies up everything at the very end. So I'm scrolling all the way to the last pages, and do you see the order totals? That's this to say these are the entire quantities in both orders. So if you look at the item quantity of 75 here, that's where it's getting it from. And then let's go to the first page here, item quantity 14. And then notice, I like this one on the job one because even though I have 14 pieces, it's showing me that I'm only embroidering 13 of the 14. And remember, we had said that that 1 medium was not getting embroidery on it. So we kind of see that on the next page there. All right, I hope this clears everything up about the features that you can turn off or on the customizable pack slip. And again, you're going to see these same features on the work order as well. Now we're ready to look at printing the work order with the new options. I'm going to stay with the Acer America order and I'm going to click on print work order. Again, it's going to default to the new layout, but you can go back to the classic version should you want to return back to that version. And then just simply click on go to new print layout if you do want to use the new work order layout. All right, let's go ahead and click on the drop down where it says customize layout. And as you can see, we've got very similar print options that we had on the pack slip. However, there are a few new options on this one. We've got the show goods analysis, which is new. We've got the show item remarks, which is new. And then we've got the show art production comment, which is new. All right, let's hit them one by one. The print job on new page. We explained to you that each design will have its own printout if you select this option. On the show goods summary, this is where we can actually scroll down and we can see the goods summary here on the work order layout. And then the show goods analysis. This is actually a really cool one. Let me go ahead and scroll down to show you this. So this is now putting the layout of the different sizes in like a grid type format. And I really like this idea because it's now highlighting the order quantity, the quantity that we've received in, quantity that got pulled from stock, and then the quantity if we've purchased or not that is appearing on the PO, and then any amounts that we've received in. So this is a very nice option. I would actually train production to be able to say, no, I can't run this job if any of the received numbers was 0, for example. So I do like the goods being purchased / received in analysis. I do think this is a great feature. I would almost turn off, to save space, the goods summary in order to keep the goods analysis on. I do like that feature. Okay, the next one is the show item remarks, and this is a new one, and I'm going to show you real quick where it's going to get the item remarks from. I'm going to quickly add one and then show you how it appears on the work order. All right, as you can see, I've added my remark line down here, and remember the one medium white dress shirt was not getting any embroidery. We can see that here. So I added a remark line knowing that this is going to print on the work order that says this shirt will not be embroidered. It's just another fail-safe for sending this over to production and just reminding them, look, this shirt is not getting embroidered. So when you get the pile of shirts, go find that medium and just put it aside so it doesn't accidentally get embroidered. All right, let's head back to the print work order and let's click on the customize layout, and we've got that show item remarks turned on. So let's scroll down where we can see that. And as you can see, it prints very nicely in red here. So underneath the medium shirt, and this is the other reason why I like the goods analysis preferred over the goods summary, is it will print that remark line right there. So definitely do not turn off the goods analysis on your work order printout. Okay, we're on the show imprints option, and just remember this is going to allow the zoomed and placement image to literally print on your work order. So leave that checked if you want those items on, uncheck it, and do not forget to hit apply. Once you uncheck something or once you check something, just make sure you're hitting that apply button. I'm going to repeat that again in a little bit because it's just not going to take effect until you hit that apply button. All right, the show additional charges, I'm going to knock that one out with the show other charges. Remember that appears on the very last sheet. So here's the additional charges, here's the other charges. And again, if you don't have those as a line item on your sheet, there's going to be nothing to print. So these will only show up when you have that feature turned on if you literally have these charges on the order. All right, let's jump to the next one. which is the show art production comment. And again, this is strictly just for the work order. So I'm going to show you really quick where the production comment is. We'll show you how it prints on the work order here. First, it's important to understand that the art production comment is really setup notes. So we're going to click on the art progress circle, whether you do that from the order or from the job board, either one. And I'm going to go into the very first design number. And then I'm going to click on the production option, click on setup notes. And so as you can see in here, I've typed 2 pieces of light cutaway crisscrossed ballpoint needles 7511. Remember, in the setup notes, this is where I want to type in the recipe of the design, things that production needs to be reminded of. This is what we did the last time. It came out perfect that way, so we want to do it the same way this time. These are the setup notes, and this is what it's referring to when it says art production comment. So let's go ahead and hit save here. Let's go back to the print work order, and let's go to the customize layout. And here's that show art production comment, and then let's look and find where it appears on the work order. So here it is right here under production comment. So 2 pieces of light cutaway crisscross ballpoint needles 7511. Anything that you want to tell production, whether it's how to run the job or the fact that it needs folded and bagged afterwards, or whatever you need to tell production, this is where that comment's going to go. All right, the next one is show art measurements, and you can actually find that right above the art production comment. So let's scroll back down, and you can actually see the measurements here on this particular design. The show art approval comment, we said in the pack slip one, which this allows to be printed on the pack slip, is the comment that we typed in when we were entering the zoomed in placement image. So let's find that real quick. So over here, it shows up as the approval comment. Design looks like a patch, but is not a patch. That's the art approval comment. The next option is the show which items get a particular imprint. I'm going to scroll down and again just reiterate that it is this right here, because remember on this design we weren't going to embellish the one medium, so this is just showing me all the items that are getting the particular imprint. We already discussed the show other charges, so let's move on to show names and numbers. And you can see that right here. And just real quick, I just want to show you this little icon right here. Notice it looks clickable because it's in blue here. So I'm just going to click on that, and notice how it says copied to clipboard. How cool is that? So now I can actually open up my cutter. I can open up whatever software I want and paste these options in. So that's pretty cool. And you can use either the name or the number to do both. And then don't forget, the next option is the show names and numbers comment, and that's this little verbiage that you see right here. So notice how Bob is getting black thread, Jim is getting black thread, etc., but then we come down to Aaron, and he's actually getting lime thread for his name. So I put a little comment in on the names and numbers option, and it says Aaron is the only one getting lime thread. The last two options on the work order layout options is the show job totals and the show order total quantities. Those are two different things. So in my order, I have two jobs. One is the embroidered dress shirts and the other one is the embroidered caps. And so the job totals are just that for each job that was entered in to the order. So here's the totals for job number 1. And then if I scroll down, here's the totals for job number 2. And then remember, the order totals summarize everything for job 1 and job 2, and that prints at the very end here. Just one more thing I want to show you is in the company setup now, you do have the ability to create some default layouts. So let's go look at that right now. So we just entered the company setup, and as you can see, there's a new option here called print settings. Let's go ahead and click on that now. And then you can see that there is a custom work order layout option. So let's go ahead and click on that. When we expose the custom work order layout option, it gives us an option to create a new print profile. So I'm going to click on that now. And the first thing I'm going to do is give this particular work order layout a name. And I'm going to call this production. And then I'm going to turn off various things that I just don't want printing on the production part of the work order layout. And now I have two layouts already created. I'm going to go ahead and head back to the print work order layout, and we're going to look how you can select those options now. So I'll click on the action button here and click on the print work order layout, and then now click on the drop down, and now I can see my production view. And I can also see my quality control view. Okay, we're ready to talk about the traveler sheet. To view the traveler sheet, you're going to again click on the action button and scroll down to where it says Print Shop Traveler. You're going to click on that, and I am going to show you the sheet right now, as you can see, but please understand we do need to do a little bit of setup in the company setup in order to get the most out of our traveler sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the show custom print options. First off, notice how it says show custom checkbox option 1, and then there's an option 2, and then there's an option 3. Well, I have not set up what option 1 is, option 2 is, or option 3, and those are actually going to appear on the form in 3 columns here. So as you can see, I have them turned on, but it doesn't say anything, and then it doesn't show the columns. So we have to go set up that first. And then the other thing that we can set up is the verbiage here. We called it the custom traveler, but we thought maybe there's some shops that aren't going to like that word, the traveler. So we're going to allow you to customize this to call the sheet whatever you want to call the sheet. All right, so let's go do that customization, and then we'll come back and check out all these options of the custom traveler sheet. And we're going to go back to that print settings option, and as you can see, there's the traveler option. So first and foremost, we need to give the travel sheet a title. Now, if you do like traveler, then you can call it ABC Company Traveler Sheet or XYZ Travel Sheet, whatever you want to call it here. I couldn't think of anything better, but I am going to add the company name. So I'm just going to call it the Artesia Travel Sheet. Now on each of the custom header options, I'm going to type in 3 options. I want it to hit the hands of the finishing department. I want it to then be QC'd, and then I want it to be packaged. So those are my 3 options. But keep in mind each one of those header options is very character limited. So I'm going to type in finish in the first option. Then I'm going to type in QC on the next option. And then I'm just going to put pack on the last option. And it's going to automatically save, so we don't have to worry about that. Now let's head back to the traveler sheet. So here's our Acer America. Let's click on the print shop traveler. Let's go click on the show options. And as you can see, now there's 3 columns there for the headers that I added. And notice that I added the name to the travel sheet option. Now that I have my 3 options created, I can now look to see, do I want to turn on the last 2 options, which is show the blank comment box at the end of the order. And it's literally just that, a box where somebody can handwrite in something specific to whether it was the finishing department, the quality control person, or the pack and ship department, whatever comment they may have on the order that they want to manually enter a note about, then I would turn on that show blank comment box. And then the show row comments is just that. It's, for example, on this particular order, remember we had the one medium white shirt that wasn't getting any embellishment. So I would click on that show row comments so that that would show up there. Okay, let's move on to names and numbers and how to get that going. Inside each order now, you're going to see the little t-shirt option that has a number on the shirt. And if you hover over it, it says names and numbers. And this is literally where you're going to come in and type the name going on the shirt and then the number. Or in this case, I've kind of tweaked the system a little bit and put a little title in there. So important that you set up the vinyl color option, or I actually even like to refer to it as just the color option, because on this order I'm referring to thread, and on any other order it might be screen print, on another order it might be vinyl. So for those of you that do a lot of names and numbers in vinyl, this is perfect, but understand that you can tweak it a little bit and use it a little bit differently for the type of order that you're doing. So let's start with customizing the vinyl color option, and that's going to be in the company setup. Okay, you're going to head to the list option and then scroll down to where you see the vinyl colors option. So I'm going to click to expand, and as you can see, I've got a bunch of colors in here already, but I'm going to go ahead and add a new vinyl color just so you can see how you can add this option in. I'm going to click in here, I'm going to type in black, and then on the color bar, I'm just going to click over here and we'll do this option over here where we just go to 000 for the RGB settings and know that that's black, and go ahead and hit save. All right, as you can see, I've got a quote here that has names and numbers that's been added to it. And so now I want to use this option to go in and add all the names and numbers to the option. Now, just want to point something out, that the names and number field are both mandatory. But as always, there's a workaround. So if I didn't want to type a name in, I could place my cursor in the name field and just literally put an underscore in there, and that just kind of make it known throughout the shop that that designates that we're not doing a name on there. And then just simply add the number that's going on the applicable shirt. I'm just going to tab over, use the down arrow to find the style. The color's already selected. I'm going to click the down arrow to find the size that I'm looking for, and then the down arrow to pick the color that I'm looking for. And then I'm just going to type in 2 there. Let's come back and go ahead and put the name in that we want on there. Notice that there's an option here. Click here to make the comments visible. So if I want to click here, then the comments are now visible. Click here again, the comments will not be visible to the customer. So anytime you see that yellow box there, comments will not be visible to the customer. Click on it. Anytime you see the white box, the comments will be visible to the customer, and it'll always tell you here. Okay, let's go ahead and close out. All right, I went ahead and converted the order to an invoice. I just wanted to remind you that on the print work order, you have two really important features on the names and numbers. So number one, let's go to the production layout here. Look at the names and numbers option here. So remember, you can click on this little icon to copy to the clipboard. And same thing for the number there, to copy that to the clipboard. And then just make sure that the names and numbers option is set up to print all together. All right, folks, I know that was a lot. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video.